I think that this person is gonna like have you tripping over your words a little bit. I think that like you'll be really surprised at like how organized they've been about this whole thing if you already know them, and you'd be like, what the hell? But I think it will give you hope that like you and this person together can work through some pretty hard times. I almost feel like you are like the exact same collective as this other reading, because we also have grief coming out here, like not knowing how to move on. I don't know if you were like maybe dealing with a third party situation recently that you just got out of, or like there's been some other external influence in your life which has stopped you from being able to kind of like make forward progress at all. But I do feel like you've been in a place where you've been really stuck and frustrated, if not just with dating, then with everything, or if not just with your relationship, then with everything in life. And it just feels like, I mean, I saw this person talking about like some sort of grief diagnosis that they started diagnosing people with, generalized grief disorder, just because of like how rubbish the world's become and how much people are struggling and they're putting in so much work for so little gain, that people are now being diagnosed with general grief disorder. And it's just grieving, you know, the life that you thought that you were going to have, maybe. But everybody's sort of in the same boat and like resenting the fact that nobody can pay their bills, but everybody's like working 3 times as hard as they were like 5 years ago. So maybe you've just been really in a place where you've been frustrated just with that. And now it's like with this person finally proving that people can actually be on the ball and can stick to their plans and can be reliable. It's like, you know, finally a bit of good here, you know, I can work with this, you know, finally someone's being consistent with me. Yeah, I'm also like nostalgia coming out in that 6 of Cups as well, like remembering the past fondly and being like, I wish we could go back to the way that things used to be. Just in terms of like lifestyle, I sort of feel like for you guys, there's a frustration that like something about the modern day is just like conflicting with you so much. There's just so much that you have that you feel like you're constantly like fighting against. You feel like, I think everybody feels like the world is like actively against them these days. Like it's us against the super rich. It's us against the billionaires and the corporations. And I sort of feel like people are really, like over the last year and a half maybe, especially starting to kind of tune into this thing of like, what the fuck is going on? Why are we all having such a hard time? So yeah, it's just enough when someone like commits to a plan, when someone like commits to kind of helping you through something or can just talk you through something with some sense. It's like, oh my god, I'm finally talking. 5 of Wands in reverse. Finally I'm talking to someone with some sense. Finally we're talking some sense here, like finding some kind of like common ground between like us as an individual and everyone else, because it does seem like everyone's so opinionated these days as well that nobody can agree on anything. Everyone's just too busy shouting on words. Everybody's just too busy shouting at each other to like really get anything done. So I think if nothing else, this is just going to be like a really great experience for you to kind of get out of your own head and have you realize that like there are actually still good people out there who I can connect with, who want to make plans, who want to show me that they're worth something. And like it seems small going on a good date in the grand scheme of things. Like how can going on one good date make me feel like I'm going to you know, be okay in this life? But I think when everything else is feeling so shit, just one good thing happening feels like a shining beacon of hope. And that really is like what this feels like it's coming through as. But anyway, I'm gonna leave that there. But if you'd like to book a reading with me, you can do by the link in my bio. Bye.